Say it again. Lab coat. They have lab coat. I heard lab coat. I heard goggles. I heard gloves. What else what do scientists have? Black tie. They always wear a black tie. Let's see, I don't have a tie. Do you have a tie? When you dress up and go to church or something special, do you have a tie? Do you wear a tie? No. So, are we saying that men are scientists?
Yeah, and women.
Oh, say again?
And women.
Oh, okay. But is she pretty much equipped to be dressed like a scientist? Pretty much? Yeah. So we have a scientist here, then, don't we? Okay? Back when I was going to school and someone asked us to describe scientists, it would usually be someone who was white and someone who was a man. Okay? But is that the case now? No. Actually, if we think about it, we folks that look like us, have been scientists for, get this word, get this number, thousands of years. What did I just say?
Thousands of years.
We've been scientists for thousands of years. Can you look back at this table?
I know George Washington Carver.
How did you know it was George Washington Carver?
Because books. And they say their name.
The books and the books say his name, and all the books back there are about George Washington Carver. What do you think he studied? Scientists are always studying stuff. What did he study?
Plants.
You're so smart. How do you know he studied plants?
Because I read a lot of books.
You read a lot of books? Wow. You need to watch out for this one here. Way to go. Is there any other way that you can figure out that he studied plants? Scientists are observers. They observe a lot of stuff. Nothing gets by them. They observe, they ask questions. What else is there in the room that lets you know George Washington Carver studied plants? Look around. Look around. Look around. Brianna, what were you pointing at over here? The plants on this bulletin here. Yeah, good, good. What are you seeing about the plants?
The life cycle.
The life cycle of the plant. Very good, very good. So George Washington Carver was a scientist who studied plants, okay? And why he did what he did. And we're talking about what he did, okay? That the whole world has benefited from, okay? He was born in Missouri's Ozark region near the frontier town of Diamond Grove during the Civil War. A long time ago. And the Civil War was 1861 to 1865. It's a long, long, long time ago. of his father, but his mother was a young woman named Mary. Along with her children, she was enslaved. She was a slave. His mother was a slave. And if you're a slave and you give birth, then the children are slaves as well. So basically, when George Washington Carver was born, what was he? So that means he was owned by somebody else, wasn't he? Okay. George was a baby. His brother Jim, about 6, when criminals invaded the farm. Okay? Somebody took him and his mother and brother, but then someone else got him back. And shortly after he was born, slavery ended. George and his brother never got to see his mother again. There was a couple, they were German immigrants, that means that they were born in Germany, came to this country, and became citizens of this country, but they didn't like slavery. And so what happened was that they wound up taking George Washington Carver into their home, along with his brother, and raised him. So we have Susan and Moses Carver. Susan and Moses Carver. And who are we learning about? George Washington Carver. So look at this connection here. Once they took him into the home, what was his last name now? Carver. And their last names were Carver. So this German couple took them in and took care of them. And he referred to them as Uncle Mose and Aunt Sue. Okay? Now, during slavery, if someone saw me reading this book, do you know what could happen? Anybody have an idea? I could get badly beaten with a whip. For doing what? For reading. So it was illegal to teach a slave to read. All right. And so when you see people talking about the importance of reading, understand that with reading comes knowledge, and with knowledge comes power. And folks who own slaves didn't want that to happen. Okay, because you can't enslave a person who has knowledge and power. He was able to go to a school that took African Americans, because not all schools, just because slavery was over, not all schools took people of color. So there had to be special schools designed to teach us, and he was one of those really adamant, smart people. Now look what you have to write on. You have these kind of things, you have notebooks. This was like his notebook. This was it. So imagine. And then when it fills up, what do? Erase it and you start all over again. Okay? So he was also a person who worked hard. He worked very, very, very hard. But he was curious. He would take long walks. He would look at plants and animals and rocks and study them and ask questions. But then after a while, the school that he was going to wasn't teaching him all that he wanted to know. So he left the Carver's home with their blessing. He left their home and went to another place, another town close by, and stayed with this family. And this family understood that he was a bright young man. And they wanted him to learn as much as he possibly could. They realized that this was a very, very special young man. And it was important for him to go wherever he needed to go to learn as much as he possibly could. And so again, he was interested in what kind of things? Plants. What else? Insects. What else? Animals. What else? What do you find outside? Plants, insects, animals. What else do you find outside? Rocks. So he studied and studied and studied and studied and studied. But there was something else that he did besides studying. He was a painter. He was an artist. So he was always sketching, always painting, sketching and painting and drawing. So besides reading as much as he possibly could and studying as much as he possibly could, he would sketch a lot of things. So if your learning doesn't stop with this day, your learning can keep going. So go to your library. Go ask a parent to get you to a bookstore or something. And look at some of these books, read some of these books, get them checked out, okay? example. 1 would be the best to grow corn in, put a check there or a star. If you think it's soil 2, put a check or a star. If you think it's soil 3 or soil 4, whichever one you think is the best soil for growing corn, put a check and a star. Pick soil 1 as best for growing corn. Mr. Clark, why did you pick soil 1?
Huh?
Huh?
Because it's got rocks in it, and rocks. No, rocks don't hold water very well. Never mind, I want to change my
Never.
choice.
Oh, see, he had changed. You can scientists change their mind.
I'm
Yeah,
going
they
with number
can.
3.
And they do it after experimenting. Yeah. Who picked soil 3? Who picked soil 3?
You can keep changing.
He picked 1. He picked 3. He picked soil 2. You picked.
Because
Can you tell me why?
it holds
Why
water
is it gonna hold water in
and
there?
it helps it grow.
Oh my goodness. Very carefully, take your paper and dump this in here, then put it in your folder. Okay? Did I throw a paper in here? No, just the soil samples. Watch what he does. Look how careful he's being. Very good, thank you, sir. Way to go.